How's it going, everyone? My name is Anthony, aka ComicsRGreat, and welcome to the new Comic Book Day haul video for the books that I got back on Wednesday, October 29th. I know it's slow going. I thank you for your patience. I am making headway. I hope to put out another new Comic Book Day haul video within the next day or two. So I'm catching up slowly but surely. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the books that I have listed. I did make a slight change to the structure of the video. I hope you like it. Please let me know in the comments down below. So if you like the contents of the videos that I've been putting out so far, a thumbs up, and if you could hit that subscribe button, I really would appreciate it. So without further ado, here are the comics for the week of Wednesday, September 29th, starting with from DC Comics, Batman the Detective number 5 by Tom Taylor and Andy Kubert. So this is issue 5 of 6, where Batman is older and he's still in Europe. Alright, he's trying to solve a mystery of who is killing the number of people that he actually saved throughout his career. Okay, so he finally figures out who it is. It's someone by the name of Equilibrium. Okay, there's someone who Equilibrium tries to kill that winds up getting saved, named Ducard. And Ducard was one of the people who trained Batman and Equilibrium. So Ducard finally, Batman gets to Ducard and he tells Equilibrium who it is. Okay, and let's see here. And yeah, it's a protege. Her name is Charlotte the Surf. Okay, similar to Bruce Wayne in almost every way, except that when her husband and child got killed, she flipped her lid. Okay, so, and she figured that because Batman was the one who saved the person who ultimately wound up killing them by accident. So she felt that it was Batman's fault altogether. Okay, so that is a really strange twist of events. Okay, inside her head. But anyway, great issue. Definitely a lot of action, and inside the issue, it goes to show just how far Batman's influence spread throughout Europe. He got them to not only open the roads for him, but also to put eyes out for Charlotte the Surf and Equilibrium. So I'm looking forward to the last issue, number 6. I started by only collecting the first one, and I really wasn't planning on continuing, but it was so good that I wound up getting the rest of them. So issue 6, which is the last one, is going to be coming out on Tuesday, November 9th. From DC Comics, Deathstroke Incorporated number 1 by Josh Williamson and Howard Porter. The cover is drawn by Francisco Mattina. So, I originally decided that I was just going to get this as a cover buy because of Mattina's work. And I'll get into that later on in the video. But I decided to give this a read and just to see what Josh and Howard put together. So I've liked Howard Porter's work when he did The Flash, and I believe Josh Williamson was the one who wrote it. So, this is not their first team up together. But in this issue, there's a team up between Deathstroke the Terminator, Slade Wilson, and Black Canary. So that's an unusual team up. And then you got Toyman 2.0, and this new quote-unquote trust agency. Trust is an acronym. It's supposed to be Transparent Researchers United for Strategy and Technology. So here they go. They're off on a mission, trying to find Hive. Okay, trying to find their new queen and to see who's helping them out. And they take her down. They take her down pretty easily. A little too easily, I might add. And of course, the twist is that the people that Deathstroke and Canary are working for, they're using heroes to try and bring the villains over to their side. And if the villains don't cooperate, then they get taken out, and no one's the wiser. All right, and it's all right. I don't think I'm gonna get issue 2. Like I said, I got it for primarily the cover, which I'll talk about later. But for those people who are interested, number 2 is coming out on Tuesday, October 26th. From Titan Comics, Gun Hunting number 1 by Charles R. Dye and Ang Hor Kang. The cover was drawn by Adam Hughes. So this is the first issue of a 4-issue series written by Charles R. Dye, who does a lot of crime tales. So in this one speaks about a young lady by the name of Joanna Tang, who's from Singapore. Okay, she was raised on the streets of Singapore, essentially. She's obviously tall, beautiful, sexy, and is an assassin of sorts. And her nickname on the streets is Gun Honey. Okay, well, let me rephrase that. She's not the assassin. She provides weapons to the assassins, okay? Because in this issue, she climbs the boat, okay? They pick her out to join a private party. And at the same time, there's a blonde-haired gentleman that's there. And she leaves a gun for the gentleman in the bathroom. She leaves. He goes in, knows exactly where the gun is. Bang, bang. Kills everyone and kills the person who owns the boat. And obviously no one's the wiser. So she gets off, goes home, and she's approached by the government. And they want to make her an independent contractor and help her develop a better clientele. And she, of course, refuses them. And they let her know that there's going to come a time and place where they're going to need, she's going to need backing. Okay, their backing to be specific. And at the end of the issue, that time comes where the gun that she planted isn't there, and someone has that very same gun pointed at her head. So I'm definitely looking forward to issue 2, which is coming out on Wednesday, October 20th. It can't get here fast enough for me, just so that way I can see how it continues. And hopefully this is a great 4-issue series, and it's not going to just be known for the covers. And I'll get into that later on. From Marvel Comics, Inferno number 1 by Jonathan Hickman and Valerio Schiti. The cover was drawn by Stanley Lau. So I haven't been reading X-Men comic books for a while, not since House of X and Powers of X. The story was lengthy, and it was essentially about whether or not a certain person should be resurrected, and that person was Destiny. And according to Moira McTaggart, who is the strongest person on the planet, that Destiny should not be on Krakoa, shouldn't breathe the air, should not be brought back, period. And somehow or other, at the end of the issue, Mystique offers up a mutant to fill a certain position on the Quiet Council, and it turns out to be someone dressed in Destiny's outfit. We don't know if it's Destiny. It's obviously not Mystique, because Mystique's already there. So the question is, who is it? And do Charles and Magneto know anything about this plot that Mystique may have? Because they definitely know about what Moira wants to do. So I'm looking forward to issue 2, which comes out on Wednesday, October 27th, to see the continuation of this and see what Mystique has up her sleeve. From Marvel Comics, Miles Morales Spider-Man number 30 by Saladin Ahmed and Carmen Carnero. The cover was drawn by Taryn Clark. So this is the official first issue of Spider-Man in his new outfit. This issue is, it's a pretty laid-back issue. Just Miles starting off on a great day, just like a lot of us do. Except in his case, he winds up saving one person you know, a taco vendor from someone in a mandroid armor just because supposedly they were serving frost giant meat. Frost giant meat. Because the frost giants were on Earth, and supposedly there was a theory out there that the taco vendor served the meat from the frost giants. Yeah, you can't make that up. Anyway, so the next thing he does, in typical Spider-Man-like fashion, he sees a pair of twin girls crying, and they lost their dog. So what does Spider-Man do? Spider-Man finds the dog, you know, and at least he got the smart sense not to web the dog up, because that would have been messed up. But anyway, he winds up going on a date, and as the date starts, you know, with the issue ending, Taskmaster has both of them in his sights. So issue 31, which comes out on Wednesday, October 13th, is obviously going to be the follow-up. You know, hopefully we'll find out why Taskmaster is gunning for Miles, unless it's the person he's dating. And hopefully the rest of his day goes well. Because believe me, I know a lot of people who have had bad dates because they've been interrupted. Not me. From DC Comics, Robin #6 by Joshua Williamson and Gleb Melnikov. So now that everyone has died one time in the prelims, yeah, don't ask. Now is time for the real tournament, the Tournament of Death. So in round 1, Robin fights Blue Shrike and knocks him out in 2 moves. In round 2, Robin fights Tengu. Don't know who that is. But in thinking less than a minute, again, beats him. Except this time it's with a sword through the belly. Ugh. So now, round 3 is a round robin. 7 people must die out of 8. So it's during this time that Robin decides to grab the book from Mother Soul. Okay, he uses the person who he's fighting, whose name is Respawn. Okay, and Respawn looks like a mini Deathstroke. I mean, even though you got Ravager there, who's Deathstroke's daughter, but this guy literally looks like a miniature Deathstroke with the mask, and well, except that this time he has shoulder pads, you know, and he uses a kunai with chain, you know, as his weapon. So while he throws it at Robin, you know, and Robin falls back, uses the momentum to crash into Mother Soul and grabs her book. And it's through the book that he finds out who she really is. But unfortunately, we have to wait till issue 7 to find that out, which comes out on Tuesday, October 26th. From Boom Studios, Something is Killing the Children #20 by James Tynion and Werther Dell'Edera. So this is the end of the origin of the girl who eventually becomes Erica Slaughter. And I haven't read Something is Killing the Children from #1 on. I pretty much read it like the last 4 issues so far. I've been collecting since #10, so I have to go back and read a bit. But I like this issue because it describes the different masks that they wear, the levels that Erica will eventually grow to attain, you know, and I like the masks especially. You know, like they have the red masks, the red scarlet masks, the black masks, white masks, azure, silver, emerald, you know, and they each have their own jobs. But Erica is a black mask. She's a hunter. She's strong. And she has a monster that she keeps with you. One that she's tamed. Which is how she got to join the Order of St. George to begin with. So, unfortunately, for the time being, Something is Killing the Children is going on hiatus. You know, which kind of sucks. Because, I mean, I was just starting to get into it. But I'm definitely going to have to get the trade paperback. to read the first number of issues, and I'm definitely gonna have to read from issue 10 on, because I've missed a lot, and this is definitely something that Boom Studios, James Tynion, and Werther Dell'Edera, they've created a masterpiece here. So for those people who are interested, instead of continuing with Something Is Killing the Children, which they will eventually continue with it, but for the time being, House of Slaughter #1, a brand new series from Boom Studios, is going to start on Wednesday, October 27. And I'm sure that it's going to sell out everywhere, even though it's going to have multiple covers, multiple store variants, and the like. You know, but like I said, next issue, House of Slaughter #1, starting on Wednesday, October 27. From Image Comics, Spawn #322, by Todd McFarlane and Carlo Barberi. The cover was drawn by Bjorn Berens. So in this issue, which is a continuation from issue 321, Spawn finds a vampire who is also a kidnapper of a girl who's been missing for 4 years. And because she was missing as a teenager, that is something that is... So it's near and dear to Al Simmons' heart, and he is furious. He is downright pissed when he finds this guy. So the vampire, you know, like he lets him take a shot in, okay? And of course, the vampire's weak. Because Spawn six his little insects on him so he could suck his blood. So as he's sucking the blood from the vampire, of course, that weakens him. So for the vampire, a punch doesn't work, a bite doesn't work. So what does he do? He grabs a shotgun, and that don't work either. In fact, all that does is piss Spawn off even more. So eventually, yes, Spawn beats the vampire, saves the girl, takes the girl to a nurse so she can get the help that she needs, and tortures the hell out of this vampire. I mean, he does everything that this guy did to this poor girl for 4 years. I mean, spikes in the wall, you know, sticking dogs on him, you know, making sure that his insects, you know, bite him to death and stuff. And eventually this vampire dies. It's a, you know, well, they don't show it in the book, but it's a pretty gruesome death. I'm looking forward to seeing, hopefully, the next issue, you know, seeing when She-Spawn eventually, you know, starts doing her thing. Because now that you have King Spawn and you have Gunslinger Spawn as far as the 2 series, all that's left is She-Spawn. Don't know if I'm going to be getting all these Spawn books. I may just get one more round and that's it, and when She-Spawn comes out, I'll just get that one. You know, just #1 and that's it. But anyway, for those that are interested, Spawn #323 is going to be coming out on Wednesday, November 3rd. ComicsRGreat's cover buys. From DC Comics, Deathstroke Incorporated #1. This cover is drawn by Adam Hughes. So with this cover, we have Black Canary, and around her you see a bunch of bodies that are knocked out, presumably, because she's not one for liking to kill. And she's taking off her jacket to probably loosen up, to kick some more butt, okay? Now, Adam Hughes, who did 3 covers this week, this being the first, you know, does an awesome job with this cover. You know, even though this is the standard cardboard variant cover for Deathstroke Incorporated, I think that it's really, really great. Adam Hughes, of course, is known for drawing sexy women, especially well endowed, and well, Black Canary is no exception. You know, this is a beautiful looking cover, and you can tell she's getting ready for action. Alright, so we have another Deathstroke Incorporated cover, and this one is done by Francisco Mattina. So Mattina normally does pretty dark covers, And this one is no exception, even though there is some light to it. And Mattina always does awesome covers, whether it's for DC, whether it's Spawn, okay, for Image Comics. No matter where he goes, he does a lot of dark, detailed covers. His covers are very, very detailed. Like you see the smoke coming out from the top part of the mask. You see the disintegration on the right side of Deathstroke's face with the skull showing through. Okay, you have his sword, and the hilt has details to it. Okay, you have the buckle to his armor. All right, Mattina's known for being very, very detailed. And I always love his work. Always. I will pick up a Mattina cover if I can afford to get it. Like I said, this is one of the standard variant covers. So thank you, Mattina and DC, for giving us an awesome cover. From Titan Comics, Gun Honey #1. This cover was also done by Adam Hughes. So this is the second cover that I was talking about that Adam Hughes did this week. And as you can see, with Gun Honey, it's an Asian woman. Again, just like with Black Canary, well endowed. Except this time she has a string bikini on. She's dragging a guy across the sand by a snorkel. Or, no, that's not a snorkel. That's something else. The snorkel is hanging off the side of his head. But she always seems to get the man that she goes after. But just to remind everyone, issue 2 for Gun Honey is going to be coming out on Wednesday, October 20th. And you guys need to check out the cover that Kendrick Lim does in that one. From Marvel Comics, Inferno #1. This cover was drawn by Stanley Artgerm Lau. So we have Mystique laying on a sofa, and as you can see, Mystique, who's a shapeshifter, a mutant shapeshifter at that, she's in transition. Okay, you have her natural skin is blue with a white costume, and that costume actually changes along with her, and she's obviously changing to a white woman with a yellow dress. Don't know what kind of who it is that she's changing to or from, but whatever it is, she's probably successful with killing whoever she was after, because she's got a gun in her hand. But as you can see, you have the details in Mystique's skull on the upper part of her forehead. Some parts of her hair, where you could actually see some of the individual strands. But Artgerm, just like Warren Lau, and Gabriel Delato, very into the computer generated and ultra realistic style, which I really, really love. This gives you an idea of what Mystique could possibly look like in the real world. Okay. But again, another great one by Artgerm, and another one of those artists that I have no problems with doing a cover by for. None whatsoever. From DC Comics, Robin #6. And this cover is done by Francis Manapul. Now, lately, Francis Manapul has been doing the covers, all the variant cardstock covers for Robin 6, and each one has been a different character in the Tournament of Death. And so for this one, is a young character. The name is Respawn. Now, Respawn is like a wannabe miniature Deathstroke. Okay, even though Ravager is one of the people from the Tournament of Death, and she is the daughter of Deathstroke, this guy feels in his own way that she's not doing a good enough job of representing Deathstroke. So he made his own costume and decided to follow the path of Deathstroke, whatever path Deathstroke follows. But while it is a good cover, for some reason to me, it's not one of Francis Manapul's better ones. Some of the other ones were awesome, and pretty much the only reason why I got this is to keep the trend going of getting the main cover and the variant cardstock cover. Like I said, a good one, but not one of the best ones. Hopefully the next Manifold cover will be better. Alright, just to let everyone know, as a reminder, number 7 is going to be coming out on Tuesday, October 6th. From Dynamite Comics, Vampirella number 24. This cover was drawn by R.B. White. So, I'm not very familiar with R.B. White's drawings, or who R.B. White is. I'm not really a Dynamite Comics collector. This week is like one of the very, very few times that I bought Dynamite Comics. But this cover of Vampirella, I have to say, R.B. White, you did a magnificent job. You know, with her being a vampire, and I mean, you have the flames coming up, touching her hair while she is laying down on the bed, with her head just hanging off the bed. You know, Vampirella is always a sexy character in comics, and this is no exception. But with that fire coming up, I mean, I feel the heat. You know, so great job, R.B. White, and if this is essentially how you draw, hey, keep up the great work, and hopefully I'll see you on a mainstream company. You know, like, I mean, Dynamite's big, but you know, hopefully I'll see you on Image Comics, DC, or maybe even Marvel. You know, if that's that floats your boat. But in any case, Vampirella number 25 is going to be coming out, for those of you who are interested, on Wednesday, November 10th. From Dynamite Comics, Vampiverse number 1. And this cover was drawn by Adam Hughes. So, this is the third and final Adam Hughes cover of the week. I don't think I've ever had a week where I've collected so many Adam Hughes covers. But this one, as you can see, is a Vampirella upside down. And if there is someone who has had a history of drawing sexy Vampirella covers, it's Adam Hughes. You know, I think he was the one who drew the first comic book style Vampirella cover. Not the very, very first one, because the very, very, very first Vampirella cover was a magazine cover, but he did draw a comic book cover way back in the 90s, and it was one that has been is pretty well known. Is pretty well known. I used to own it. One day I hope to get it back. But this one, I wouldn't be surprised if it becomes a fairly classic one. You know, obviously at first it being by Adam Hughes, and then the unusual position that Vampirella's in. But in any case, 3 covers for the week, and this being the first issue, I figured it was a pretty decent cover to get. I have to say, though, it's not one of his best, but I mean, it's an Adam Hughes cover, so you really can't go wrong most of the time. But for those people who are interested, Vampiverse number 2 is going to be coming out on Wednesday, November 3rd. From Marvel Comics, Wolverine number 16. And this cover was drawn by Tony S. Daniel. So I am a fan of Tony S. Daniels. Whether it be his covers or his interiors, one thing that you can get from, well, 2 things you can get from Tony S. Daniel. One is an action-based sequence. I mean, because the way he draws, to me, makes the characters look like if they're going to fly off the page. And number 2, you're going to get some great details. He reminds me like of a cross of Jim Lee and Andy Kubert. You know, and this cover is the 10th anniversary Miles Morales, so celebrating 10 years. And I've gotten a few of these, as you can see in my previous videos. And this one is great as a black and yellow costume. I mean, even though to me this looks more like a Peter Parker type of costume or stance rather than a Miles Morales one. But I mean, I see where he's going with the black base, which has been Miles' standard, and instead of the red, you have the gold or the yellow color. So it definitely matches Wolverine's gold. So it's a really good team up photo there. Definitely one that I hope to keep, and hopefully I'll put on Instagram a layout of some of the 10th anniversary Miles Morales covers that I got, because there are a number of good ones there. In case people are interested, even though I don't collect Wolverine regularly, but number 17 is coming out on Wednesday, October 27th. ComicsRGreat reprint roundup. From Marvel Comics, Miles Morales Spider-Man number 29, second print, by Saladin Ahmed and Chris Allen. The cover was drawn by Tower & Clark. So this is the second print of the Miles Morales. Now with this cover, we have a totally different cover drawn by Tower & Clark, who also did the first cover. This one is of Miles Morales in his brand new suit that got trashed. So as we can see over here, we have a picture of Miles Morales' old suit, the black and red, with the face mask on the floor in the rain, and it's just trash. The eye socket has glass in it and everything is busted up. And in the issue, you do see pictures of Miles Morales with tape on it, with tape on his legs. I mean, like this is the last suit that he has, and it's totally beat up. So one of the people that he saves in issue 28 is a designer. So they go ahead and they design this new suit that's on the second print cover. And that's the one that's going to be his suit from this point forward. As you can see, he has his kicks, and this one looks great. It looks great in this position, but in some of the other pictures that I've seen, it's kind of loose. It looks like he has sweatpants on with a sweater, and I understand they're going for a more relaxed fit, but to me, realistically speaking, that could get caught on the tree. Could get caught on a pole, with hooks, and he's down for the count. Well, if it's skin tight, like what most other superheroes wear, that's not going to happen. But in any case, it is a great cover, and it sold out for a very particular reason. But otherwise, it looks good for a second print. Okay, and in case people are wondering, the next issue, which is actually issue number 31, is coming out on Wednesday, October 13th. From Marvel Comics, Moon Knight number 2, second print. This is by Jed MacKay and Alessandro Cappuccio. And Cappuccio also did the cover, which to me is pretty awesome. So this cover is of Moon Knight, but I do believe that this is Hunter Moon, who is the next fist of Khonshu. So in issue 1, you got a brief appearance of Moon Knight, of Hunter Moon, I'm saying, sorry. And Hunter Moon is being introduced as the second character, and as a human body has 2 hands, so I guess the spirit of Khonshu has 2 fists. One has been Moon Knight, so now Hunter Moon is the other one, and I think that he's supposed to do the stuff that Moon Knight can't do, and Moon Knight does pretty much everything. And as you can see in the first print copy over here, also done by Cappuccio. I'm sorry, no, this one was done by Steve McNiven. This one shows Moon Knight being torn to shreds. I mean, utter shreds. Okay. And I have a feeling that eventually that's what Hunter Moon is going to do to him. So, I mean, we'll see what happens. This is just issue 2 of the first arc, and a brand new series. I think the arc is supposed to last up to issue 6. You know, and I guess we'll see from that point on. But the second print cover is pretty cool. You know, I do like the first print cover a little better. But yeah, my hand, what you can call it, I tip my hat to this one. Looking forward to seeing what Hunter Moon does in Moon Knight. I'm not really a Moon Knight collector, but I couldn't deny the action sequences and the artwork in these 2 issues so far. Okay, issue 3 did come out already, and in case people are wondering, the next issue is issue 4, and that's going to be coming out on Wednesday, October 27th. Did you pick up some of the comic books that I showed you today? I'm sure you did, especially at least 2 of the ones that Adam Hughes drew. Okay, there's no mistaking that. But I hope you enjoyed the contents of this video. If you did, a thumbs up would be really great, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Just to let you know, I tend to be live on Saturdays with the New York Warriors on their Coffee and Comics show at 9:30 a.m. Eastern, 6:30 a.m. Pacific. And I'm also a Team Nerd Herd officially. And I'm on their comic topic show, which is on Sunday evenings at 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific. Both of their links are in the comments down below. In any case, I really do hope that you enjoyed this video. And as you can see, I'm trying out new stuff. And I hope you enjoy the stuff that I have to offer in the weeks to come. So, from my family to yours, I hope that you're safe. And remember, comics are great. And so are you. Later.